Hello! Today I'm just going to be doing a really quick spoiler-free book review of a book I read last month that I just really enjoyed and wanted to talk about a little bit. And that is Tell the Wolves I'm Home by Rifka Brunt. I did in fact read this last month and I'm just getting a chance to film a review about it now, so I don't remember every single detail, which is most of the reason why I'm not doing a full-blown discussion and review, but also just because I just want to recommend this book and show people it because it's so good. Usually, even for spoiler-free reviews, I have at least a page, 2 pages of notes, and this is all I took this time because I ran out of time to finish my notes, so it was either finish notes and not film now, even though my makeup's done and everything, or finish notes and film whenever I get another chance. So doing it now with half a page of notes. I hope it's not too crazy. So Tell the Wolves I'm Home is basically about this 14-year-old girl named June, and it takes place in 1987. June's best and only friend, and when I say only friend, it's not like she has her only friend. She has no friends. Her only friend is her Uncle Finn, and they're super close. It gets to the point where some people are like, should uncles and nieces be that close? But they're honestly just best friends, and the relationship is so cute and nice. But then very suddenly Finn dies, and all of a sudden June is kind of thrust into this world without him, where she doesn't know what to do. She's had Finn there her entire life, and now all of a sudden he's gone and she has no friends and no one to relate to and no one to talk to, and her sister don't get along at all, so she can't talk to her sister about any of her feelings. Her mom and her dad are never really there because of their jobs, so she can't talk to them. She's basically lost and alone. But then she meets one of Finn's friends that she didn't even know existed. And this friend is the only other person who misses Finn just as much as she does and actually understands what she's going through, and they kind of bond over him and talking about him and mourning him. It's a very odd and weird friendship they have, but it's really heartwarming and nice, and it's so nice. So slowly they build this friendship that June and Finn had with Finn's best friend. Now I have to be honest, when I initially saw this book, I was not very compelled to read it by the summary. Initially it really was just a cover buy, to be honest. I loved the cover, so I thought that really made up for not having a very interesting summary, I guess. I mean, it's not that the summary sounded uninteresting, but it didn't sound wholly original or anything. Honestly, the summary doesn't do the book justice. It is so wholly original and so heartwarming and so fantastic, and it's great. I don't really like hyping books up because I know what it's like to go into a book with high standards and expectations, and then if it doesn't meet those expectations you set for it, then that just kind of ruins the book for you. So I really don't like to hype things up. I think one of the reasons I enjoyed this so much is because I went into it not hearing any reviews, not having any standards, expectations. I didn't know anything about it except the summary, and I think that's kind of what made me really love it because I was so surprised. One of my favorite things about this book, though, are the characters. You just get to know every character on such an extremely personal level, even if it's all just from June's point of view. You have such strong emotions for each character. I love June so much. I love Toby so much, which is the friend she makes. I think the best kinds of books are the ones... Okay. Why did I not put my phone on silent? I think the best kinds of books are the ones that just get you to feel such strong emotions to these characters. So while I was absolutely in love with June and Toby, I got so angry at her sister and her mom for being ignorant and mean to June. They are fictional characters, and I felt true anger at them. But at the same time, I liked her sister, even though at times I hated her sister. I feel like that's something that happens with siblings in real life. I, as an older sister, can relate very strongly to. You can hate your sibling, but then at the same time love your sibling, and I felt that exact emotion for June's sibling, and it... incredible. The writing in this book wasn't like extremely extravagant, if you know what I mean. It had beautiful metaphors and quotes that I wrote down because I loved, but it wasn't anything that I would have expected really in a book like this, I guess. But somehow I really appreciated that because it just gave so much to focus on the characters and the storyline and what was happening instead of more on this beautiful, magnificent writing, even though it was beautiful in its own way. And I'm not saying the writing was bad by any means. It was amazing. I'm just saying I usually go into these books and they're like metaphor, metaphor, very strange, out there simile, lots of big words, you know what I mean? And this was just more matter of fact and not what I was expecting. It was matter of fact, but Carol had beautiful, beautiful things to say, and I love how she said them through June and how June thinks, and I loved it. June, for a 14-year-old, is so smart, and I wish I thought like her when I was 14. I want a sequel of her when she's like 30 years old and how she thinks then. But she also had all these quirks and little things about her that were just so unique and cute. It makes you love her more. She has this thing where she wishes she were in medieval times, so she walks around in the middle of the woods with her medieval getup on, pretending she's back in time, and it's so unique. That's not something you ever really hear about in books or in any really storyline. It's something that's very different, and I also really appreciated that. This is a coming-of-age novel. The character development in this as well is just so incredible, and it makes me so happy. This is just a book that I am glad I read, and it's one of those books that I felt like a different person coming out of it. The last book I felt like this with was Give Me the Sun by Jandy Nelson, where I finished it and I kind of just sat there like, oh my god. Oh my god. You feel like a better person after reading it, and I really appreciated that and I really liked that. So all in all, this was a fantastic book. I'm so happy I read it. I feel like some of the best books are the ones you pick up on a complete whim and then end up falling in love with, and I am so happy I read this. I really think that everyone could find something to enjoy in this, find something to love in it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later, I guess.